Hello everyone. I thought I'd make this little video to celebrate finally reaching the arbitrary number of 250 subscribers. So thanks for everyone for doing that, and as a reward or punishment if you will, we're actually going to try and break the siege of Leningrad. Now this is a preset scenario in Panzer General 2, so I have no say in which units we get. As such, we have a load of decent infantry, well, half decent, mediocre, and artillery, as well as some tanks. No air force to speak of. We could requisition some, but we only have 50 prestige, and the cheapest bomber is 516. Right, so let's take a look at the strategic overview. We have to take these two objectives with the yellow line around them. There's Krasnoseloy and Witino. I'm probably butchering those, but no matter. We also want to try and take the minor objectives, though those won't impact on our victory. They'll just give us more prestige with which to reinforce and order new units. Let us start on the left. Get out this, and have a look around. Now, obvious German defensive positions are here, 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 and so on. So we got to think about this. Now I know what happens in this scenario, what resources the enemy has available to them, so I know roughly what I should do. Let's start at the far end and position these guys here. 6-to-1 odds, probably not worth taking. Now, got another regular unit here, so let's move forward. 1-to-1, that looks better. But bear in mind the enemy probably has artillery hiding somewhere. Now, let us also scout out this area. Yeah, 6-to-1. That is an anti-tank gun. Not that much threat to infantry, but as I suspected, artillery is back here, which will greatly complicate attempts to actually do damage to the enemy. To that end, we should focus our firepower on this hapless unit. Didn't do much damage to them, but we did suppress them. We can attack at 2-to-1, which really isn't worth it at this point. But the idea will be to get rid of them and push through to take out that artillery unit. For this to work, it's probably good to have a nearby tank. In fact, let's just check something. What might be a good idea is actually to take these bad odds. 3-to-3, yeah, very nasty. Now it's reduced to 6. The reason we might want to do that is an overrun attack. And what that means is we get... it means tank units can do this. It means that we can attack, and if we can kill on odds the entire unit, we get to do it without any chance of the enemy being able to react. Something to watch out for with your own units as well. Anyway, we're going to hug this position, because next turn we'll be clearing it out. But before we do that, let's at least destroy some of these defenders with artillery. Now we could also overrun here, I think. No. And luckily we can cancel this move, because we didn't encounter any new enemy units. As long as you don't find any new enemy units, you can cancel move, and it's best used for checking the odds on attacks like that. But we can attack anyway, so let's try that. It's probably not going to go well, even though it's 2-to-4. Nope. It went as planned. Very unusual. The risk I was worried about was a rugged defense, which has a chance of firing when a unit is heavily entrenched. You can see in the bottom right hand corner how well entrenched a unit is. For instance, these guys are entrenched at 8, so that means a high chance of a rugged defense, whereby the enemy gets insanely better odds than your guys. Anyway, we have captured Koruino, and we're making some progress here. But we shouldn't get too aggressive, because the enemy armour is in this area. And because of that, it makes sense to pull this artillery unit back to the village. and these guys to defend it. Meanwhile, we should scout ahead with these ones and find some Germans. Now we can't clear them out this turn, but we can do some decent damage, and hopefully next turn we'll be able to finish them off, but the enemy is likely to interfere. And for that reason I'm going to put this tank in, well, away from the main area, the spotting area for the enemy, but close enough to respond if a threat presents itself. Now, these guys can move forward a bit, and once more we have enemy units, but we also have artillery back there, and that should be our priority target wherever possible. Unfortunately, we can't target it, it's out of our range. So we should just continue moving our infantry forward to ascertain enemy positions, and let us bombard this unit out in the open, and move artillery up 1. We want to keep it out of sight because the enemy aircraft, just so you know, spotting range of 2, which means they can see 2 hexes from where they are. So 1, 2, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and yeah, they'd spot that enemy aircraft come in and sort of massacre that unit. So not good. Neither of those odds. But the attack can't continue effectively until we can take out the artillery pieces that litter the field. But we should continue pushing forward even if we can't do much damage. Yes. Slowly we're kind of mapping out enemy positions. You may be wondering why I'm going after this chap. The reason is hoping to... no. Can't, unfortunately, because the artillery will stop us from doing complete overrun. So we could attack here, but that would be 6-0, which isn't good. Now, trouble is, if we take this one out entirely, then he can't overrun, and that means no more movement for him. And you can't move through enemy zones of control with tanks. You can only do it with recon units, which we do not have. It is a good idea just to weaken the enemy artillery, though, and to continue hugging the enemy, as well as softening up this flank. Now, this artillery unit is completely out of the range of everything, so we should bring it in closer. These units are close enough to support against the infantry, but not against the artillery, unfortunately. So to that end, well, we got this unit in place, and we could probably move this one forward. We want to keep at least one here, just in case we need to cover. Because during an opponent's turn, if you attack and there's an artillery piece of his in range, it offers supporting fire to defend. So we want to make use of that. Meanwhile, that tank can go there. The very slow horse artillery can continue trying to get to the front lines before the battle finishes. And we pretty much moved everything we want to move. Yes. So let's see what happens, what the enemy does. Quite heavy bombardment across the field, doing significant damage to our infantry. That looks like, to me, well, that's a recon unit. They're going after this one instead of the weakened one for some reason. Good supporting fire there. And aircraft is coming in to attack these infantry. Of course they go after the wagons, and as you can see, didn't take as much damage as expected. They run away when they realise that next turn they're in for serious punishment. As well we would. We got off relatively lightly there with that armour. And we have a Jagdpanther, a Panzer IV-J, and a PSW 2343. That's a recon, it can see 4 spaces in front of it. So we should probably hatch some kind of plan to destroy these. We'll come back to that. Meanwhile, we should see what we can do about this artillery piece that's bothering me. Okay, 4-1. And this artillery can't do anything. Can overrun that. And attack at 1-6. Odds of 2-1, not worth it. I go for an overrun, but I think it's better to just try and do as much damage as possible to this artillery piece. There we go. No more artillery to worry about there. And we can begin the long process of reducing this enemy emplacement. And the reason I want to surround it is that it will stop him from reinforcing, which is always annoying. Now, I'd think about going after this chap here with the with what we have, but there is an artillery piece here that will support any attempts we make to push further. So that will be unwise, to say the least. Plus, we can only do 1 damage to it. Now, Panzer J. Decent hard attack, decent soft attack. Very high hard attack, low soft attack. Quite self-explanatory, I think those are. Now, trying to gauge where that artillery piece is. I reckon it's in range to support anything in this area. So it might be in our interest just to withdraw and draw you up here. Put you in place at 4-1 compared to 1-1. Now, so we can't cause little pain for this Jagdpanther. Getting quite lucky. Very lucky indeed. Yeah, as I suspected. Now we could come in here. 3-4. 3-1. Right. Now we can't cancel that move because we encountered a new unit here. But I think it's worth exchanging like for like here. Or not. This might be the case. That unit's going to die next turn. My mistake. So, what I'm going to do instead is just try and rush south. A kind of suicidal charge. Ah, surprised. Not good. 8 destroyed. Do not run your units blind into the enemy as I do. But we can keep pushing. Now what matters here is we just have to get at least 1 tank unit and an infantry over here. We are going to take some of them with us, fortunately, because we have artillery and range to assist. Actually, no, I'm not going to cancel your move. You're going to sorry. You're going to stay in place. And you have to stay in place too. But you can move over here. And yeah, you're going to go after these guys. But they're dead anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Now we can continue the much more successful attacks on this flank. Attack you. And continue bombardment of the artillery. There we go. Right. That's the artillery there taken care of. Should be able to push through once we get rid of this artillery piece. An overrun attack as predicted. Another overrun. Ah, we have quite a few enemies here. So probably best to bombard. And overrun. For one final overrun. This is why you should never leave weak units exposed, because the enemy can pull this off as well. The AI can do it from time to time, and it's not a pleasant experience, let me tell you. This may take a while to actually succeed against this unit, but each attack saps its ability to fight. We might just be able to overrun. Excellent. Actually, goodbye. Excellent. Finishing off wounded units like that is invaluable because it means they don't get a chance to rearm, which prolongs the battle considerably. Make sure your strikes are hard and decisive. Now. Only get rid of one. Might as well expend this unit's ammo. Rugged defense. We still did damage to them. Actually, don't pull yourself so far back. You're not critically wounded. You're just very weakened. You can still hold a position, a good position, but still, you can hold it. Right. That will stop the enemy from doing anything too severe. So I just reinforced this unit, because we want as many healthy infantry as possible. Next turn we'll blow through, and kind of try and link up with our forces here. They might need a bit of help soon. Wait, that's too close. Don't want you to move yet. Right. Okay. I think I'm going to cover my eyes while this situation plays out.